Yeah, go ahead, guys. Fire away.
Second half, big kind of jump off offensively. Turnovers went down quite a bit. What was the biggest difference that you saw between first and second half?
Yeah, I think throwing it to our team helped. Um, there's a lot of chaos in that first half. I think there's no doubt that we're a tired team right now. We've played a lot of games early here. We've played a lot of games. There has not been a lot of practice time, mental fatigue, and I think unfortunately for us, you play a team like Troy that's got a chaos element to their defensive scheme, and you better be sound, you better be fundamentally. And I thought, particularly, I thought our guards looked tired. I thought Gina looked tired, and she's played a lot of stressful minutes, right? And a lot of physical minutes. So proud of our group for fighting through it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, the obvious is that we threw it to us a lot more in the second half than we did the first half.
And then you get Nostra back. How crazy is it? She was playing a game in Lithuania on Sunday.
Yeah.
And she's back on the court tonight and played almost 24 minutes. What does that say about her?
Yeah, I mean, she's in shape. She's young. I don't know what time she got in, maybe 2:30 or 3 last night back to campus here. And, she never said a word. She was up grabbing some food, I think around 10:30 this morning and ready to go. And I know she's tired. She needs to take tomorrow off and sleep in, but competitor. The good thing is, it's not like she was away for a week with an injury. She was playing basketball, so, it's not like she had to get back into that part of it. But, you could see the difference she makes for us, particularly at the defensive end of the floor, because we're able to put her on a problem. And if we have another problem, we can move her to that one because she's such a versatile defender. And, that's important for us to be able to do.
And then you mentioned their turnovers. Defensively, what maybe is the thing that you think you guys did the best tonight?
Yeah, I'll start with Jordan Spicer. I thought she was physical down low with the center, and I think she's continuing to improve defensively. Felt like we guarded the straight line drive better tonight. It did not feel like they were downhill as much as we've seen some teams get downhill against us. Really defended the three well early in this game. Now, they really got hot late and knocked some threes down, but I thought we had a pretty good awareness there. So I think we were battling. I didn't ever question that we were battling. It just looked to me like you could see the physical fatigue and you could see the mental fatigue. But I know they wanted to come out on the right side. This has been a tough week for us. So I'll just go back to really pleased that we were able to battle, not play great, but play well enough and have some balance to that because I think everybody, did some good things.
The scoring run between the third and the fourth quarter, I don't know, 22-5 or something like that. Maybe what did you say to them? What's going through your mind during that stretch?
Yeah, well, I felt like in that stretch we probably played together as well as any time of the game. It felt just really – I didn't really feel like the game ever had any rhythm to it. So many turnovers, a lot of chaos. We couldn't play well enough to get any rhythm. That part of the game felt like it had some rhythm to it. Felt like the right play was being made more often than not. And, while it was a chaos game, you saw Anaya Foy do some really good things. Saw Brandy Harrod, I think, slow down some at the rim and finish better than she has. Spicer continues, like I mentioned, her rebounding has continued to really, really improve. So we're seeing some areas, particularly from our young group, that's just getting better and better.
The character element, you guys come off 2 tough losses. You're tired. You're able to fight through and get this needed win. What kind of character does that show you about this team early on in the season?
It's a good question. I think that as I've said numerous times, I've always liked their work ethic individually. And so it matters to them. It's important to them. And you could see the hurt of the last couple games. And yet they've still showed up to shoot-arounds pretty consistent and shown up. And we could tell in shoot-around they were tired. We could tell. You can always, but it wasn't a bad shoot-around. It was just you could just see it. I was concerned. It matters to this team. And you have to have character. You have to have some toughness. And it does matter to this team. And I know that prior to the game that you could sense they wanted to come out on the right side of this one tonight. I know people say, well, don't they want that every game? Yeah, they do, but they do. But there was an urgency about we wanted to play well, and then we just didn't play well in the first half, right? It's not like we had shots going. Taryn struggled to shoot the ball. East struggled to shoot the ball. So, yeah, I know that's a long-winded answer on character, but I'll just go back to the fact that I know it matters to this team, and I've known it's mattered to them because I've seen it.
Before the game, Nasty played almost 24 minutes. Was that about the range that you figured it would fall in?
I didn't really put any limitations on it. We really didn't have a talk other than, just glad to have you back, and that was it. The game got stretched out, so I was able to pull her out. But if that game was tight, she'd have played 30. She can rest tomorrow. And if she wants to rest Thursday, we'll rest her Thursday as well if she needs a couple days. But tonight was not going to be the night that I was going to rest her. She does so much for us that even when maybe a certain part of her game isn't as sharp, she has an ability, a maturity to her that she can impact the game in different ways, and you saw that.
In what ways besides defensively that you mentioned earlier?
Well, she just, we can move her around. Her brain allows us to move her around. Like I said, if defensively we can move her around, but even offensively, if we need her to play a different role, if we need her, we went over the 3 or 4 additions that we've made since she's been gone, and we ran them with her in the game, and some players have that ability to process that. Some players don't. She has the ability to process that.
You guys nearly shot perfect from the line for the whole game. In the first half, you guys shot perfect from the line. Can you just talk about how this team is able to maintain composure from that area on the court, and especially in such a chaotic game like this one?
Yeah, I think we've got pretty good free throw shooters overall. Brandy has struggled at the line, but, most of ours have been pretty consistent at the line. So I think we've got pretty good shooters there. It's an area that we emphasize in some ways, but I'll just go back to this particular group has a pretty good routine of getting up enough free throws, I think, to be a good free throw shooting team. They work at it.
Troy did a really good job of just offensive rebounding in general, but they couldn't really get those second point chance opportunities. Can you just talk about how the defense was able to kind of come together and prevent them from doing that?
Yeah, they really chase it well. Troy really chases it well. They got a lot of nice athletes there that really chase it. The chaos that they bring to the game is not just at the defensive end, but offensively there's some quick shots that go to the rim, and I thought our group battled. We're not the biggest, but I thought our group battled, and I think Troy They did. They had trouble finishing as well. This was not a clean game. This was an ugly game at times. A lot of shots, a lot of bodies. It was just a ugly, chaotic game most of the night.
I know they're most excited about the rest that they're going to get tomorrow, but now that you have a handful of games under your belt and you don't need to turn around and scout for Green Bay immediately, how nice are these next couple days of practice going to be just to kind of focus in on some spots that you want to fix?
Yeah, it's been really a challenge to find that practice, as we talked, even last week about doing. It's just different with a real veteran team than it is with a younger team. You want to have more practice time. You want to continue to build good habits. Hey, look, I'm ready for a little. I'd like to sleep past 5 a.m. one day this week. I know D. Scott gets up at 3:45, but I prefer to see 6 if on an off day. I think it'll be nice just to have the win. I'd much rather correct things after a win. I think our group will be excited about that, and so I'll be excited to go back on film and actually maybe evaluate some things as opposed to going forward and looking at an opponent. So it'll be nice tonight when I get home, grab some food. I can, instead of going to the next opponent already, I can at least go back and maybe help our team better. Because, I think that, as I've said numerous times, this is a team that we can see a lot of growth from.